Hello everybody! Today we're going to unbox and take a close-up look at the Nike Air Force 1 07 Paris. So let's first take a look around the outside of the box. So in this box is a pair of Nike Air Force 1 07 Paris shoes, and this pair is in men's UK size 8.5, US 9.5, Europe 43, Brazil 41, 27.5 cm, and it's also in a women's US size 11, and this pair is in the black Phantom Game Royal colourway. And now let's go ahead and open up the box by flipping up the box lid to reveal the contents inside, and let's peel back and up the packing paper to reveal the Nike Air Force 1 07 Paris or Paris. And let's pop out the shoes from the box packaging and set them on the tabletop, and of course just checking through to make sure nothing else is left behind. We can set the box on the left hand side of the tabletop and just setting the shoes on the tabletop so you have that initial full and clear look at the pair before we start taking much closer in looks at the details. So just setting the right shoe in the background as we take a look at the left shoe first. So giving you a look at the left shoe, and let's just pop the laces into the shoe so we have a clear and unobstructed view of the shoe. And let's do a 360 rotation so you have that full and clear look of this Nike Air Force 1 07 Paris. Of course, the lace has just spilled out from the shoe, but just tucking it back in and giving you that overall look once again, and much closer in details of the shoes. So we can see that it does have this black and white colorway and very heavy on the black details on the upper, as you can see, and contrasted with that white stitching or the phantom stitching. So giving you a look at the toe box of the shoe, and the leather has a very smooth texture to it and very finely grained. So giving you a close-up look at its details and the mudguard as well, and the stitching details. And of course we can see the Paris or Paris branding with the Nike swoosh, both in phantom or white, highly contrasted against the black midsole or outsole. So as we move towards the back part of the shoe, we can see the patent leather details with that very high gloss finish, once again contrasted against the matte or duller black leather details and white contrast stitching. So from the midfoot area or quarter panel and slowly moving towards the back, so once again the continuation with the separation of the panels, once again in patent leather, so giving you that close-up look at those details. Very glossy and shiny against that matte black Nike swoosh. And in the heel part of the shoe we see the Air branding details, indicating Nike Air cushioning in the shoe. So taking a look from the back or heel of the shoe, we can see the Nike Air embroidery in white or phantom against that black grained leather. And once again we see the patent leather details with that glossy finish. And looking towards the inner side of the shoe, once again patent leather and that very conspicuous white stitching right throughout. And moving back towards the front of the shoe with that smooth, finely grained leather and the toe box perforated section in the front part of the shoe. Now taking a look from the tip toe or front of the shoe and slowly moving towards the back so we can see the details along the length of the shoe, and we can see that dubray as well, the AF1 dubray and black laces, as well as the Nike Air Force 1 tongue details and the white ankle and heel collar or lining of the shoe. So moving slightly back towards the front, just paying some attention to the AF1 dubray, we can see that does appear to be abrasive blasted. So let's try and get some focus on that detail right there. With that Air Force 1 or AF1 branding. And of course with the tongue, let's pop out the laces once again. And of course giving you a look at the additional laces, which appear to be in white or phantom. So a slightly off-white color. And just in a full white, in contrast to the black laces that come fitted with the shoe. So giving you a look at the Nike Air Force 1 details on the tongue label, and of course around the inside details of the shoe. Let's pop out the paper stuffing so we can see the inside details more clearly. So just taking out that paper stuffing and looking at the back of the tongue. So let's try and take a look at the details on the back of the tongue with the Nike branding details. And in terms of the padding or bolstering of the tongue, so it's lightly padded, but very plush to the feel, because it does have some firmness to it. And around the ankle and heel collar, evenly padded as well, with a light to medium thickness of padding or bolstering, but once again has a firmness to it as well. And we can see on the inside the composition sticker or materials label and the sock liner or insole in blue. And we can partially see the Paris or Paris text with the sticker over it. So giving you a much further out look at the shoe. And of course, let's take a look at the sole or bottom of the shoe. You can see black rubber throughout, and giving you a close-up look at its details. And we can see the Nike branding around the arch or midfoot area. And to give you some sense of the rubber sole, just dragging my finger along its surface and tapping with my fingernail to give you some sense of that rubber sole. And now let's do a flexibility bend and twist test with my hands to give you some sense of the shoe's firmness, stiffness or pliability. And now just popping the shoe back in shape. And now let's take a look at the right shoe, so bringing the left shoe, or right shoe, in frame and setting the left shoe in the background. And let's do a 360 rotation with this side as well, so you have that full and initial look. And now taking a close-up look at its detail. So once again, that black leather upper of the shoe, with that smooth and finely grained vamp and perforated toe box area, and mudguard with that white contrast stitching, double stitched, as well as the white contrast stitching on Phantom as well for the sole. So patent leather with the Nike swoosh overlay on it, and at the back we see that Phantom embroidered Nike Air on the heel tab, and then that section of patent leather continuing towards the outer side of the shoe, and of course that little subtle Nike swoosh and Paris text towards the front part or little toe area of the shoe. And of course we see that AF1 Dubray again with that abrasive blasted finish. And for the tongue, once again, white on black. And let's pop out the paper stuffing, and this time around for the sock liner and sole, we can see it is in red as opposed to the blue we saw earlier on the left shoe. And around the details on the inside, just giving you a look. At the inside labels as best that we can. And the overall lining and textures of this Nike Air Force 1 07 Paris or Paris. And of course taking a look at the sole as well. Once again, black rubber, no different to the left side. And just giving you a further out look, once again for some perspective, and that glossy and matte overall finish of the upper with those subtle accents with that abrasive blasted Dubray, as well as the high contrast white or Phantom stitching right throughout. Now let's take a look at the pair together side by side. And from the front to the back. Directly from the back. And the bottoms or soles of the shoes. So that's Nike Air Force 1 07 Paris Thanks for watching and happy walking!